Oh, here we go. Okay. Good morning, everyone. It is Tyra within the Spotlight.
And Julia within the Spotlight. How are you doing today, Tyra?
Good morning. Good morning. Well, good morning we're in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm on Vancouver Island. Great Saturday. I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to my day. And you?
I am too. I can't wait to get into the garden today. We actually have a very sunny day, about 14 degrees Celsius. So going to test that soil. How about you, Tyra?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do some of that too. Everybody's itching to get going. March has been a slow start and we're ready to go here on the island.
Exactly.
So talking about ready to go, we have a visitor all the way from the UK. I want to introduce you guys here to Paul Angus. I'm sorry, Paul.
Angus.
I said your name wrong. Now you have to say it so I don't mess it up.
Hi everyone. It's Paul Angus from the UK.
Just like the beef.
I love live because if you botch it up, there's nothing you can do. You just keep flowing, you know.
That's it. It happens to me all the time. I normally say my name is Angus, A-N-G-U-S, and I just spell it. And I've done it ever since I was a child. Don't worry.
Don't they say in theater, you know, break a leg, the show must go on kind of thing? It's like, what do you do? Hey?
It's great to be here and to see you ladies. I watch your show all the time. So it's just strange for me to be on it. It's brilliant.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. Hey, Julie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Pleasure.
Yes. So we're going to get right into it, and bear with me. I've got some notes here because we've got a lot we're going to ask Paul about. But something that I feel Onpassive is very strong in is they're very strong in leadership. They are actually leading the way in new technology. And then when you consider the founders, they are the visionaries, the ones that are leading the way into a new way of doing business online because of Onpassive and the leadership and the stuff that they've developed. So, Paul, I had asked you earlier about what you see in a leader. And some of the things you said to us were, you mentioned selflessness. It must be Saturday morning. I better have more coffee. Availability, seeing people where they are and showing them where they can go. So that is, to me, very, very profound when you consider leadership in whatever form. So can you now relate that for us to Onpassive as a leadership, leading the way, and to Ash Mufareh, who is we've said, fearless leader. He is going.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when I first spoke to Ash or met Ash and listened to Ash, it was over a year ago. I joined on the 23rd of December 2019. And you kind of take people on face value. And I always listen to people and to see what they're going to say and how they say it. Because a lot of people, you know, we call it lip service, and it looks like they're reading off a script. And Ash wasn't like that. It was as if he was having a conversation, which I liked, you know. And he's actually later commented on some of the videos that I make. I do a weekly update, and he said, "Oh, Paul's out in the woods where he lives, having a chat." And I thought, well, Ash is actually watching my videos. And the more I got to know Ash, I realized that, you know, he's an incredibly busy man, but his leadership skills are understanding and recognizing people, and he doesn't seem to forget people. You know, everyone's important to him, regardless of where they come from and what they're doing. And I like that. I really picked that up quite quick with Ash.
Oh, that really covers it.
And speaking of leadership skills, Paul, what type of leadership skills do you find most useful in Onpassive?
Oh, it's just getting back to the basics, I think. I mean, I spent 35 years in network marketing, and I had a good time and I had a bad time, like a lot of people. But I learned from some really good people along the way. And I watch people, and you see some people in companies and they go to the top, and it's like they just want to walk across the stage with a big check, and they forgot the people. They're forgetting all about the people that got them there, you know. And I thought, well, we'd never want to do that. And I've had some good times and some big checks in my life, and I think, no, you've got to remember your group and remember how you started. And it's quite nerve-wracking for some people to come from the outside world, as I call it, a job world, into a home-based business, which is totally different, and they're not quite sure what to do. So over the years, I seem to have adopted people. Even my sponsor, Dennis Owens, who's 89 now. In 1996, Dennis came to a presentation that I was doing, was to do these big opportunity meetings, and he sat on the front row, and he didn't have a very helpful sponsor, and he kept asking me questions, and he kept apologizing for it. I said, no, that's fine, Dennis. He said, but I'm not in your group and you don't make any money from it. I said, it's not about the money. It's about working with people like myself that just want to go somewhere. And here we are. That was from 1996. And today, Dennis is my sponsor. I'm really grateful for that. So I've always tried to work with people to find out where they are and where they want to go. And that's the second part of that is the most important thing, because sometimes I was told in the past, I want your success more than you do. You know, I've struggled. I've had some real big struggles in my life, and I don't want to see other people struggle. So sometimes I've tried to take people further than they really want to go. And some people just want an extra 500 a month. Some people need to replace their jobs. So I now try and find out, what is it you want from this? Can I help you get there? And as long as they know that it doesn't matter whether it's a month, 2 months, 5 months down the road, I'm still here, you know, as I was on day one to help them. That's what's important, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's super. So just to go back a minute, because you really opened that up wonderfully when you talked about Ash and his type of leadership and how it's important for him to see and recognize people. The other thing, can you expand a little bit about is Onpassive is not your everyday company. Onpassive is not a MLM. Onpassive is not an affiliate marketer. Can you expand on that? Because they are truly leading the way in a sense that we haven't seen for years and years pertaining to the internet.
Right.
Very much so. I mean, I see it different every day because I get pitched opportunities by people every day, and I watch their style and how they're doing it, and it's absolutely nothing like we would do it in Onpassive. It's just totally different. As I say, after all those years in network marketing, if I'm honest, and not many people are honest that have come out of, I come out of network marketing 5 years ago, I just didn't feel it was going to offer me and other people like me what we used to be able to get from it. And it's different. It's all changed. As Onpassive being a totally different company, an IT company, is so different. Because if I'm honest, I used to wake up a lot thinking, is the company going to be here today? Are we going to get paid this month? Are there going to be any advancements? You know, and you didn't really feel part of the company. You were in something to make money, and that's all it was. And Onpassive is so different because, as you all know, we very rarely talk about money because we know what's coming. We know that the money's, it's as if we've already been given the money. Now we can relax and actually enjoy the rest of the business. And it's more about helping other people. I mean, it's got to be the most selfless business I've ever been in. And I've worked with some really good leaders around the world in my time since 1980 when I started all this. But people like Dan Street, Marty DeGarmo, Mike Ellis, and and those sort of people, and Bill Musk and everyone. You think there's just tons of leaders that we've never had before, all seem to have congregated in Onpassive because it's that different, because it's somewhere that we call home. We know it's going to be there in the morning. We know it's going to be there in 10 or 20 years time. And it's going to be, well, it's already a giant. And that's what makes the difference. People, it's a little bit like, it's a funny thing. When you need money from the bank, they'll lend you the money if you don't need it.
Right.
Isn't that true? That's how you get a loan. You've got to first prove you don't need it. In Onpassive, we don't need people to come and join us, but they do.
Yes.
We don't need them. It's like an umbrella. And people have asked me, how did you get all your friends in? I said, well, actually, I went back to them and I told them I didn't need them in the business. I didn't need them to come and build a team again. They go, really? I said, yeah, I just want to tell you what I'm doing because I don't want you to miss out. And I made a separate video on one of my updates recently about that. And I've got an extra five friends that have come back on because of that video, because I said, I don't need you, but I don't want to leave you behind. You're too valuable to me. You'd be a massive asset to Onpassive. And I don't see anything out there like Onpassive for doing that. It's brilliant.
Oh, that's awesome. So you gave an example of how you actually get other people's goals and kind of work them in and help them reach their goals. So how does setting goals for yourself to become a better leader in Onpassive work for you?
I do it daily. I mean, I covered something last week in my update video. I've just changed my everyday method. I get up earlier now. I only have about 3 hours sleep because I work late. I work till about 2 or 3 in the morning. I know, but I have a day job, so I have to do Onpassive, and I can think of a night time. So on average, I go to bed at about 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock sometimes, and I'm up again at 6. Now, I don't need to leave home until 7:30, but I don't like to rush. So if you get up that little bit earlier and you don't rush, and you leave the telephone, you leave your mobile and your cell phone alone, because people wake up straight away and they're straight on the cell phone. And what they're looking at is problems, probably from the day before, things they've got to answer. Now their day, to me, is completely ruined. So I get up early, I don't rush, cup of tea in bed, I switch my cell phone on when I go out to the car, and then I turn it straight to YouTube. And I'm either watching you guys or I'm watching the Julia Marlowe show, or I'm watching something motivational. So my training day for me, although I have to go to work, I've got to enjoy my job. I can't wait to leave work. But the only way I enjoy my job is to listen to YouTube, listen to some good leaders on YouTube, and I go to work and I'm in a good mood all day, you know, because I've just changed those little tiny habits of just changing the radio for YouTube. And listen to interviews. I listen to a lot of interviews and how people have got started, and you can learn an awful lot from other people. It's simple. It's university on wheels, I call it. You're in the car. You're in the car. Where are you going?
Yeah, you really said it there, like when she asked about those kind of goals and what you do, because it is where you start your mindset. Absolutely. You know, somebody just asked me earlier, like, how do you stay so excited, so passionate? And I said, I get on and watch the videos. I mean, I can watch one video of any one of the founders that are out there putting stuff out, and I am on fire. Like, I just get pumped because it just keeps expanding our horizon and what Onpassive is.
And the more you tune in, the more you understand what it's all about, right? So if you just sit back and say, okay, fine, whatever, then of course you're not going to get motivated about it, right? So.
Well, I mean, I just say, you said about how I work with people sort of on the ground level. Red Redfern and Peter Rogers recently put together the UK and Ireland group, so we said, you know, usually the UK gets left behind. We've only got about 2,000 people signed up in the UK out of 590,000 people. So it's very small. But the UK generally likes home business, and it's time for a change. So we've got together, there's 9 of us in the UK and Ireland group. We bought a new position, and we divide that between 9 of us. So we're going to share whatever comes underneath. But if someone joins us in the UK and Ireland group now, we want to try and see if we can get this going around the world. Because if someone joins us underneath, they don't get one sponsor, they get 9 of us now, 9 of us helping. Awesome. So we've created certain things. I always have these little business cards, you know, something on the front, something on the back. We've got a guy called Chris in our team, a part of the thing. He's just created the most fabulous flyer that we've got on the back. It's cracking. Now, if someone clicks that link down there, they come into the UK group, so it just fills up the group. Now, what I've always done, I've just got 5,000 of these that have been delivered yesterday. I can't wait to get out next week, because I'm going to go out, and if I can get some local founders with me as well, we're going to go out together. We're just going to hand them out, put them through shop doors and things like that. But it teaches people a discipline, like even with these cards. I'll read this card out to you. On the front, it just says, if you share a good idea often enough, it eventually falls on good people. And people say, why would you put that on there? I said, because if I'm out in a shop or a store and I get good service from someone, I'll say, would you mind if I give you one of my cards? And they read it. I said, you know, I'm really impressed with the service you've given me here, and I'm looking for good people. So I think my cards eventually found my way to a good person. I've got a simple home-based business that I think you'd be brilliant in. If you like it, my details are on the back. Get in touch. So you're giving that person a compliment. Yes. And you know, they probably don't like living there, working there. Sort of, you've given them a compliment, but what it does for you, the founder, is you're going out and thinking success, 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 because you're doing something for your business. You're not thinking about bills and problems and challenges. Right, so by doing these leaflets and flyers, we could all do that. But it changes your mind thinking Onpassive, and you know, and you have a good day, and it's the most simplest thing. And these are so cheap. I mean, if I work it out into dollars, that's probably, those flyers, 5,000 flyers, would come out at about $60 for the 5,000.
5,000. Oh wow, that's
yeah.
Well,
now, you know,
go on. Sorry.
Go ahead. Finish.
But what I plan to do is, let's say, for instance, I used to do this in the old days, as I say. If I take you ladies with me, 3 more people, there's 6 of us out there handing out these flyers. Okay, it's all gonna benefit you. But what we normally do is we could even sit in a cafe and write down your initials. So as those flyers come back, so, oh, by the way, on the flyer there was an initial. What is it? Oh, it said TN. Oh, that's Tyra. Well, that means that's your person. So there's 6 of us out there with 200 flyers each, 1,200 flyers going out, but that person's guaranteed to get some business because everyone else out there is working for them. Wow. So that's what we're going to do with a new person, because they want 3 people will come out with us and put some flyers out and see how simple it is. Brilliant. But it also, you'll get talking to people and they get to listen what you're saying, how you're going to answer about the business. Ever so simple. Yeah. And anyone can do it. That's the main thing. They don't have to be a marketer, but if they want to do that, I want to go and do it with them.
Right.
Right.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That just ties so perfectly where we started with Onpassive, Ash Mufara, and then I said about the founders and seeing how the founders are becoming such leaders in their areas. And this is a perfect example of what you're talking about. Nobody told you to do this, but you took that initiative, you put it together, you formed a little group, and you want to get out there and you want to be helping people. And that is just the whole heart of what I see the founders, the Go founders, to be like. Each person is like that.
Oh yeah, I mean the next bunch of flyers we'll have. Paddy McGuigan also ordered 5,000, and Neil Parkinson's ordered some more this week. But the next batch we'll obviously have the 7-day trial on it, so the flyer can get better and better and better. And then say you can go into a store and say, look, we've got a fantastic offer here. It's got a free 7-day trial. Do you mind if I leave you a few? Because if you leave 50 or 100, the shopkeeper's going to go, right, yeah. What's it all about? And the first person you're going to get signed up is the shopkeeper, and anyone that comes in the shop, the shopkeeper is going to have his own flyers there. And you know, we keep local shops in business for one, and the shopkeeper's over the moon because he's got a new business that's thriving. You know, so there's
now
lots of ways of doing it.
You open the door. Now you got to explain. So people that are hearing this for the first time understand. What is this 7-day? Because this has nothing to do with the founders. This is once we go public. So can you expand on that?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at all the companies that go around the world, I mean, we look back a years with AOL, American Online. In England, we used to call it aggravation online because it wasn't the best internet service. But they went out and they just put CDs into everyone's home. And if you look at Sky TV and things like that, come Christmas, they give you a trial. Everyone wants to give you a trial till you try the products. Try before you buy. And people like that. But what I think is going to be very exciting about the Onpassive trial is, if you look at what's happened in the last year with the pandemic, and how much people now use what we're using now to speak to their family and friends, we don't have to train people. They've trained themselves over the last year how to do video calls with Facebook, Skype, Zoom, and on all other mediums. So it's not something that they say, oh, we wouldn't know how to use that. Of course they do. But when they see what Onpassive's got to offer and how much clearer it's going to be, they can have as many people as they like on it, unlimited. They can be interactive with it. It's just going to be the new thing that's come out, and think, wow, this is really good. If you remember the iPhone when that first came out, nobody had actually seen the iPhone. Nobody had held it. Nobody had tried it out. But the promotion on that was so big. It sold out on the first week it came out. So that for us is going to be the 7-day free trial. Also, what I think people are missing is, who are the first people you're going to send your free trial to? Your family. Because you don't want to talk to them on Facebook anymore or Zoom. You want to talk to them on OConnect. So the first people are going to see that, and they're going to want, after the 7-day trial, if they haven't joined you already, they're going to be your first 3. Aren't they? It's common, it's logic, isn't it? So our family and friends are actually going to fill up our business first before any of the public, because they'll want to try out what we've got. So 7-day free trial and it takes the pressure off anyone from buying it. You know, and there's so much in the 7-day free trial. Well, I've tried that product out, that looks good. Wonder what this one does. And the reality is, come day 7, they haven't tried everything, have they? Because they've not had enough time. So they're going to want to extend it by joining.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, it is. It is. My husband and I had owned a fair trade coffee shop where we only sold fair trade products. And something he made mention, we had brought in a bunch of the chocolates, and they weren't selling. And he said, wait a second, let's open a bunch, and each time people come for coffee, let's give them a piece. Well, we couldn't keep those chocolates in-house after that. You know, so what you're saying, it's like when you give people the opportunity to try something, they get to see. And that, you know, that really ties with, I see so often people are a bit nervous about coming into Onpassive because it isn't public yet. But we talked about the founders and being visionaries and leading the way. So the thing with, just so people are clear, the thing with the 7-day trial is it's once we go public. So once we go public, you will not be able to become a founder. Those doors will be closed. You will be able to be a customer. You could be a reseller if you choose to be. But founder positions will be closed. So I want to encourage everybody at this point, if you haven't heard about Onpassive or you're unclear, our website for the company is onpassive.com, and it is packed full of information. And from there, the only way to become a founder is you have to get an invitation from a founder. So I encourage you, get a hold of Julia, get a hold of Paul or myself, and we would be more than willing to help you out before those doors close.
Indeed, yeah, very much so.
That's enough of motivation in itself. I mean, obviously, Paul, you're a motivator, and it's so apparent. But as a leader, your motivation just makes you feel good, as well as actually the new founders or even your existing founders. That's just how I look at it. I need to stay motivated. So that's why I watch the YouTube videos and everything, because I mean, we still have jobs and things like that until we go public. So can you touch on the motivation factor here? And what makes you?
I mean, a lot of people. Yeah, and some people are self-motivated, you know, and I've met other people in the past, and they say, even my boss's wife said to me at one of the Christmas parties, "Oh, I wish Graham was a little bit more like you know, and a bit more motivated." But the more I speak to Graham, he is actually motivated. You know, you've just got to find someone's button. And I remember speaking to somebody else a little while ago, and this guy's comfortably off. He doesn't have a mortgage anymore, and he's in his mid-50s. And I said to him, what do you want that you don't have? And he quite quickly came back to me and said, time freedom.
Yeah.
Now I've got him. I've just got to find out what it is that people want. And some people want money, some people want more time, and they just want, a time freedom. Just to, if you spend the money, you can get the money, the money's gone, but you can get it back again. If you spend the time, you can't. I'm now 62. And I'm doing something that my mentor Jim Rohn taught me. I've changed years into visits. Now, the average age for somebody in the UK for a man, they say, is 80 years of age. So I've got, if that's the case, I've got 18 years. That means 18 more summers, 18 more visits if I go on holiday once a year, vacation. Now, I've got a daughter that lives in Dublin and Ireland, and I only see only about twice a year. Now, that's only 36 more visits. That's not enough. Now, isn't that enough motivation to say, I need to find something that replaces my income and gives me all the time back, that I can just plan as many visits to whatever cause and people I want in my time. So that's the easiest way I find to motivate people. It's not always about the money. More often than not, it's not the money. They obviously want to feel safe, but it's the time element. What could you do if money and time wasn't an object? And just listen to them. There's talking about that thing. Listen, I know I should learn more of it because I like a chat, as you can gather. I got pitched the other evening. I get a lot of this by people doing Forex and stuff like that, and they're really persistent. And I do my best to be polite as I can. And in the end, I just have to say, look, I don't need this. You're only talking to me about money. There's more to life than money, and I'm in something that's much better than money. So it was as if he was copied and pasted the next thing. I said, okay, I'm not quite sure if you're a real person or you're a robot. And he said, real person. I said, okay, I want you to read this. And I wrote the word listen in capital letters. I said, now, what I'd like you to do is to jumble those letters up because it spells silent.
Oh,
wow.
Which it does.
Ding.
Wow.
What I'd like you to do now is to be silent. I don't want to hear about Bitcoin and Forex anymore. I've got Onpassive, and that's all I need. And I didn't hear another word from him. So it
the
worked.
last business you'll ever need. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it really
That's
is. Yeah.
Well,
a whole different perspective, eh?
what's
Tyra,
that?
a whole different perspective. Like it's so cool to be able to speak to somebody and get a different perspective. There's so many personalities in Onpassive as founders, so I really appreciate your perspective on this.
Yeah, for sure. Because the thing that I find is we don't have to sell anything.
No.
I love when people reach out to me about their businesses because I'm like, okay, my turn. And it's like, man, this is the last thing you're ever going to need. I don't have to sell it to you. I don't have to persuade you. You will never find a business that will actually do everything that it says it's going to do plus. Because
But we didn't know that when we joined, did we?
Sorry?
But when we joined, we didn't realize that, did we? When we joined, we didn't know that. I mean, when I found out about that, when I joined, I actually had an affiliate marketing product, which was a good little product, and it gave me some extra income, and it even replaced my car. I thought, good, when Onpassive launches, I'm going to put that business into Onpassive and get multiple $100 payments. And now I'm not, because I don't need to, But when I first saw Onpassive, I didn't see the big picture that's really big now, And as much as we think it's big, Ash comes out with something different and makes it a whole lot bigger. It's amazing.
Indeed. So we have Jerry. You might want to connect with him if you're able to. He's asking if you're going to be sharing the flyer and the cards with other founders. So
very much so. Yeah, I've already done that.
Thinking.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I've actually already done that. What I do is every week, like today, Saturday, every weekend, I try and get my update out. Not everyone does that. My partner goes mad at me because she said, "You spend hours on that, and does anybody do that for you?" And I said, "It doesn't matter what they do for me. I want to keep in contact with all my founders and members because not everyone's going to be active. I've got some personal friends that were good networkers in the past, and they've done absolutely nothing in 1 year." Because they want a passive income. But every week without fail, they get my update so they know what's going to happen. So in the update, in the last few updates, especially since February, I put in all about the cards and how they work. I put the flyers in. And when I was on the Leadership Council, Ash actually asked me, "Will you put your information in the Leadership Council?" So I was doing that every week. Now, my term in the Leadership Council came to an end recently, which was sad in a way because I've always had bad internet where we used to live, and Ash used to take the mickey out of the bad internet, and I felt I couldn't do enough for the Leadership Council. I felt that I was, lacking a bit. We've now moved. We still live in a beautiful country estate in the woods, but my internet's better. But I've done my term now. My term has come to an end. But I now put it in the community. But the trouble with the community is it goes down too quick. Yes. So last night, Redfern said, "We've been talking about your updates. We're going to get you back. We're going to get you back into the Leadership Council so that I can not be a member of it, but so that I can put my weekly update in there."
Wonderful.
But if anyone wants to add to, if they want me to add them to my weekly update, they can just send me an email to incomedriven@gmail.com, and I'll add them to the update. But it should be back in the Leadership Council probably next week. It's too soon for this week, but next week. But yeah, we just want to share as many ideas as we've got with anyone around the world, because I wouldn't ask someone to do something that I know doesn't work. So I always do this sort of thing myself first and say, "Well, let's go do it, not you go do it."
Yes. So just to be clear, if you're a founder, we all have back offices. We have access to a lot of information. So that's where Paul is talking about. So if you're a founder, go to your back office and go under the leadership, and they put things in there and it will be there. So just to be clear, if you're not a founder, and hopefully listening to this, you have been getting excited and you want to become one, we sure hope so, because your life will be blessed beyond what you are at right now. So hang on to your chairs, because we are going to talk about Bless, something Onpassive has brought forward to us founders, and we have barely been able to sit down. I mean, if you watched my YouTube the other day, I was like, it is just amazing. It hasn't gone public yet because we are not public yet, but as a founder, we get all the inside information. So Paul, let's expand upon Bless, please.
Yeah, I think Bless is going to be an absolute blessing for all of us, because everyone you speak to in Onpassive has a good heart, and we have a list. I mean, actually on my mobile phone, in the notes section of my mobile phone, for the last 2 years, I've been adding to it of things that I want to donate to, things I want to help out, everything from guide dogs to wigs for women that have cancer, because my partner had that. So I know the importance of having a nice wig and things like that, so they feel good about themselves. And I don't know whether you've seen those glasses. You can see the videos sometimes on Facebook where somebody's colorblind, and then somebody will give them a pair of sunglasses. And when they put them on, they can see all the colors, and they're in tears because it changes their life. Now, those glasses can't be that expensive, but I'm going to buy thousands of them. And I just want to find people who are colorblind saying, "Please put this on because it will change your life," and things like that. Now, initially, all that was going to come from my income. I'm happy to start, well, I'm bringing this income in. I live where I want. I drive what I want. I'm traveling what I want. What else am I going to do with the money? So initially, my thought was, I can donate, which I probably still will do. But now we've got Bless, we can actually put a bigger cause. If you have a bigger cause, we can put that into the Bless system, and that the Onpassive company as a company is going to do that. Now, I've got some nice friends, and I've got a recent new nice friend on Facebook who happens to be an A-list American actress, and she's very, very big. She's made movies with Jack Nicholson and people like that, Kevin Spacey, and who's the other one? The Australian guy, Mel Gibson. Yeah. So this person is very well known. This person is what I would call an influencer. But people like that have good hearts, and they're always doing things for charity. So we got talking on Facebook, and she said, would you be able to help my charities? I said, yes, absolutely. And I started explaining a little bit about Onpassive, but I said, the problem is, if I just sent you money for your charity, it only helps that person that week. What we have within Onpassive, Ash Mithara and his team have put this together called O Bliss. Now, if you were able to become a founder in Onpassive, and that's what she's looking at the moment. I'm not being too pushy, because I said, look, you may not want to go public with it. You may want to go public with it. Who knows? But if you're a founder, then you've got access to O Bliss and everything else. But these charities, instead of sending them money, you can make them a founder member, and they've got money coming to them forever. That's really going to help the charity, the cause, whatever it is. And we're not going to run out of places, people to help. I said, at the moment, we're touching 600,000 founders. That's going to go to 1 million, to 2 million, to 3 million. And they're going to be able to see inside O Bliss. And they look at a cause, whether it's pets, Alzheimer's, homeless, and they go, oh, I want to donate to that. I'm not going to miss a couple of thousand. Well, you're not. A couple of thousand apples in Onpassive in the next 12 months, it's going to be nothing. I said, can you imagine all these people with good hearts donating to charities around the world? It's going to change the world and humanity. And she loved that idea. So I actually sent her this morning a small 2-minute video that Bill Musk put together about that. But obviously, she's in America, I'm in the UK. So we're still talking about this, and I'm hoping over the next week or so, we can get that done and say, well, I'd like to get you in. Of course, I want to help you, of course. She's been one of my favorite stars for many years. But even when people get that kind of famous, do you know what they do? They just want to help other people. And then again, what can they do with that kind of, their life? You think their life is just all glamorous and having a good time. No, they're all about helping other people. They're just like us. They really are, and I think, well, but she's an influencer, and if we can get influencers on board, imagine the doors that she could possibly open to help us and our cause and Ash Mithara. And you never know who you're going to talk to, so welcome all experiences, and welcome everyone that speaks to you, because not everyone's trying to take something from you. Some people are trying to help you, give to you, so I'm very excited about that. When we saw that the other night, I knew it was going to be good, but not that good. That was just amazing, wasn't it? Just wow.
Yes, it was.
And the chair's coming back, and I'm doing a happy dance. It's like
the best thing, when Ash first started talking about it, he actually gave some numbers of all these charities and crowdfunding things, how much percentage they take out of it. As O Bless will not be taking percentages out of it, so they're going to get absolutely zero. Any cause is going to get the full amount, and that's probably never been done before. What a huge difference! What a huge difference!
You consider Ash could take O Bless and make it a company and make billions, and he's saying, I created this to help humanity, and I'm taking zero. That is mind-boggling. If that doesn't tell you the heart of this company, I don't think it's for you, because it's it's crowdfunding, donation, helping humanity on steroids. It's just so far I'm just so excited about this product. I mean, there's a lot of great products, but this one.
And did you like what that lady said from Papua New Guinea? This is our signature product. I think Ash loved that. I thought, yes, it is. Like a signature dish. This is our, if this one doesn't touch your heart, you're a space cadet. You're not from this. You're not from this planet. You're not from this planet. I mean, that's just amazing, and it gets to you. You realize this isn't just an income opportunity. This isn't just a new company. This is something so different. Although to me, it's a new career at 62 years of age. But my sponsor, Dennis Owens, I say he's 89. Dennis said he's looking forward to the next 10 years. Imagine that.
Good for him. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, Julia, before we wrap up, do you have anything else you want to add? Because we are just having such a great time with Paul here.
I know. I'm just, again, each interview, I'm speechless, and it's just so much information from the wonderful guests, including yourself, Paul. Could you just once again say what the email address is for the founders that want to
contact
know
me?
more? Yeah.
Yeah. If they want to contact me direct, I want to offer two things here. One is if someone wants to come onto my update email, which is weekly, if they email me on incomedriven@gmail.com.
Okay,
because
perfect.
I used to be income driven. I'm not so much these days, but incomedriven@gmail.com. If they do that, the second thing is, you guys are based in Canada, and anyone that listens to this anywhere else, if any of you have got people in the UK, please get them to get in touch with me so I can work with them on your behalf. So I can help expand your UK business, and the person in the UK has got an extra sponsor. I love adopting people, so it doesn't matter whether they're in my business or not. What matters is they're in yours, and you're part of mine, and I'm part of yours, and it's a big organization, company, family that we're just going to build. So some people have people abroad that they're in England, and because of the time zones, they can't spend a lot of time with them. Well, I can. I'm going to be full-time soon, so we're going to take it around the UK, and I could probably meet some of your members. And we've got a lovely venue in London called the Royal Albert Hall, and my goal next year is to fill the Royal Albert Hall with Onpassive people.
Wow.
and say, Ash Mufara, thank you very much. You did all this for us. This is what we want to do for you, because a lot of people keep asking for a good company. My question is, what are you going to do for that good company? Because it's here. He's given us a good company. What's your contribution? But I just want to help. So if anyone out there's got people in the UK, put them my way. I've got more energy than most, as you can see. I'm ready to go.
And it just shows you that with Onpassive, nobody is in competition with anybody. Everybody is willing to help everybody, no matter if you've ever been in another company, and I'm not going to name any names. It's always for yourself, and you're always looking to get to the next step, and it doesn't matter whether you stomp over somebody else. But here, everybody helps everybody, no matter what. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, I can't wait for the big seminars, extravaganzas that we're going to have around the world, so we actually get to meet you all. I say, oh, that's Tyra, that's Julia, and it's just going to be really, because you've all sort of become celebrities in your own right. Think about it, because you do such a good job, and it's great that you ladies take your time out to do this, because a lot of people wouldn't see it otherwise, would they? And they just think, oh, here's another marketer. Well, we're not just another marketer. We're not even marketers anymore. We're just someone that generally wants to help people in a changing world. Things are not like they used to be,
Exactly.
There's an old saying that I always use. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Yes.
Who could do that? Anyone could be nice. It's not hard, is it?
No.
So if you take the pressure off people and just say, I'm just trying to help you. Really, what do you want? I don't want anything. I don't need anything. Because in our business, we don't need to make commission from you. The company does that for us. They go, really? And it's just so refreshing. It's just so, that's the massive difference. It really is, And the people are getting to know that now.
Yeah. And that's the big reason why we do what we do, is that we're getting the word out about Onpassive, whether it's bringing into our own team, bringing into other teams, because like Julia said, it's all together. We're all going to win. It's not the 1% at the top making the money and the rest are working their butts off. We're all in this together. So wow.
So when it launches, ladies, what's your goals? What's the first thing you want to do when you've got your time freedom back? Have you thought about that?
You go first, Tyra. You go first.
You go first? Oh,
you go first. I'll end it.
Of course, you touched it, and I have said this forever. Time freedom. Because I came from an immigrant family that came from the Ukraine, pioneers, Saskatchewan, prairie dog, working the land. And I grew up like you worked from morning till night. That's how I grew up. And it's like, if you didn't do that, you were so lazy. So So that was part of my culture. And when I began to see that there are other options, I don't have to be in this little box that we once thought. And coming into Onpassive and learning the magnitude of what we have here, I can see it. Like, I completely see it. And I know that being able to have my time freedom, deal with all my bottom issues, help my children, and then get out of my way, because I'm going to be on Oh Bless. And I've been to Vietnam on mission trips. I've been to Cambodia. I've been in different places. And what caught me when I first heard Ash talking is he talked about children drinking dirty water. Oh. I'm going to choke up. Oh. No shoes. When I was in those countries, I saw that. And I saw adults that were giving themselves completely to orphans. They had nothing. They didn't have shoes on their feet. They didn't. So if you wonder why I'm so pumped and fired up about Oh Bless, I'm there. I'm there.
And I absolutely concur with Tyra and Paul. We all want to take care of our bottom line, and I'm the first to admit I want to do it as well. But I have things like BC Children's Hospital and the BC Cancer Society, and because it's all touched me in some way or another. Children with autism, because right now I do medical transcription for pediatrics, and it just breaks my heart that these kids have to go through what they have to go through, and at such a young age. But they always have a smile on their face. I just don't get it. Yeah. But it's not even that. It's just making our lives a little bit simpler. I don't want to have a complex life. I want a simple life where we can go away every year, not have to worry about things like debt, the bottom line, and to be able to contribute back, pay it forward.
Yeah. Well, one of the first things I fancy doing is I fancy a week or two living with monks in Tibet. No mobile phone, no watch. No menu. Whatever's on the menu, I have to eat, because that's what they're going to eat. And I just want to recharge my batteries and slow the pace of life down. But after that 2 weeks, I just want to go out and be like, have you seen that program, The Secret Millionaire? Have you seen that?
I don't know if I have.
Right, it's a great program. It's in America as well as the UK, but basically they get millionaires, a couple of millionaires. It could be a father and son or something, and then they just go out and find out good causes in a local. They go to a different area that they're not known in, and then they look on notice boards and things and find out who needs help. And it could be a donkey sanctuary, it could be a children's home or something. And they go in there and pretend to be volunteers and say, "Can we volunteer?" "Yeah, of course you can." And they get to learn about the people, and you get to sort of watch people from a distance, and you realise that these are lovely people. They're just struggling to trying to make things better when things aren't better for themselves. And then at the end of the show, they go, "Oh, by the way, we've come back. We're off now. We're going to go back home, but we forgot to tell you something. We're actually doing okay. And because we're doing okay, we want to help you out." And they help the people out with whatever funding they need. And I thought, I think that's how we're going to spend our weeks and months. Let's go out this week and see who we can help, because you're quietly looking through your eyes at people that are nice people, but they're just underfunded. So we can help them out financially, and then say, "By the way, we can help you be a reseller, so this money continues, and you probably want some new computers, and you probably want a better video system," and that sort of thing. So Onpassive really ties in with that. And that's going to be one of the best things ever. And we're going to show people around the UK, we're going to have opportunity meetings like we used to do in the old days. We're going to do opportunity meetings and trainings. And we just say to people, "Well, we want to help you, but we want to show you why we don't have to go to work anymore." Right. "What do you mean?" Well, will that work for me? Absolutely, But it's just about giving. And we've never been in a position where we know we can just do so much. We can actually help somebody. I mean, one of my causes is going to be a local vet. We got a lovely guy called Mark the Home Vet. I had a beautiful cat. I had my cat, Tabby, for 17 years. She moved out to Spain with me twice, came back and come back here. And I had to put Tabby down about a year and a half ago because she had a really bad tumor in her ear. We had it fixed once, couldn't do it. And Mark was so nice. And at the time, I covered the bill, but I was struggling. I've been struggling since 2016. and it was a struggle. So, and he was really good with me, and it wasn't about the money with Mark. He was concerned about Tabby, making sure she went to sleep properly and calm, and he was concerned about us as the owners, which I thought was lovely. So one of the things I want to do is I want to sit with Mark and say, look, you have other people in the position that I was in. They're a little bit short on cash, but they love their pet. You know, they've got to do the best for it. So if you have patients, parents, whatever, that are a little bit struggling with pets and they need operations, whatever, ring me, because I need to fund it. It doesn't, they don't need to know where it's coming from, but I need to fund it, because, you know, but it's tax deductible too. It goes on your tax bill. The more you help, the more you get back. Because there's lots of people. We love our animals, but you know, going to a vet's is very expensive. And it's heartbreaking, because you want to do your best for your they're like family, aren't they? You know.
They are.
But Mark was great with us, and I thought, I'm going to work with this guy in the future, because the 3 other vets I went to, all they spoke about was money. All they want, we need $500. We need fun. I thought, you haven't said a word about me or my cat. You know, the welfare of my cat that I've had for 17 years. And yet Mark was the only one that did. He said, no. He said, I come to you. I said, oh, really? He said, well, the cat knows the environment. The cat's going to be calm. And that's the best way to work. And I thought, I'm going to work with this guy in the future. So that's just one of them. I've got a huge list of things to do. But, you know, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, each person has what you said, looking out of our own eyes. Each of us have a vision, you know. Paul, you're kind of sliding over. We're starting to lose you on the screen here. I know StreamYard is backwards. There we go. Okay. So yeah, there's just so much involved. And Paul, we want to say thank you very much. You have shared some wonderful information.
Yes.
We're so grateful.
I apologize. I've probably gone on too long, but I'm just so excited, and I generally I want to help as many as I can, and you know, whatever I can do, let's just go do it, you know. So
exactly. No, not at all. It was wonderful listening.
It was indeed. So, Paul, thank you very much. Bless you in your endeavors. And we're going to be seeing you around, because obviously you're an integral part of what's happening in Onpassive.
Stay in touch.
I haven't been to Canada, and I want to come to Canada. I hear it's a very clean, safe place. I've never visited yet, so I'm coming over.
Come on over. You're welcome.
Good. We'll get a good visit in. So thank you so much, Paul. Have a wonderful, well, for you, it's evening almost. So have a wonderful evening.
6 p.m. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, it is evening. Yeah.
Thank you very much for inviting me on your fabulous show. I love it. I love your show. So thank you. I'm very honored to be on it. It's just a treat for me. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Wonderful.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye, Paul.
Bye for now.
So there you have it, you guys. I mean, what more could we say, Julia? I mean, Paul just really covered that.
It's what we're all about. I mean, sometimes it's hard to get the words out, but he did it so elegantly and brilliantly that, I mean, it made me speechless. But it's just so wonderful to listen to a different perspective about what Onpassive and what founders are all about.
Well, and that's what we touched on about why we're doing these interviews, why we have, you know, I have TN Grow Wealth Together on Facebook, on YouTube, and you yourself have, yours is different.
Mine is AJ Internet Solutions, Facebook, YouTube, Telegram as well. Right. But I think I'm going to take a different perspective or a different route. I am thinking I'm going to take more of a Paul route than, I mean, I love Onpassive with a passion, but I think we're in it to help other people. And I think the Oh Bless has really kind of woken a lot of people up to see what we can do. So this interview or this show has been a godsend for me. It actually woke me up to what we could really, really do with this company, what we could do for others.
Yeah, the Oh Bless. Yeah. And as I was saying, like, that's why we're doing this, you know, for people that have never heard of Onpassive, we're getting the information out there. And for people that have heard or are founders, you know, this, like Julia just said, this really opens up a person's eyes to so much more. And it's so inspiring, you know, when you hear the stories of what people are doing and how we're growing. So Julia, just a question before we end. Did
Yep.
you get Paul's email written down?
Yes, I have it down here.
Can you just mention
And
it? Somebody just asked and I didn't write
sure.
it down.
Okay, it's income driven. So INCOME driven, DRIVEN, all one word, at gmail.com.
Perfect. Perfect. So you guys heard it here. Thank you everyone for joining us. And please, before the doors open, not for our benefit, but for your benefit, if you're not a founder, we really want to encourage you to look at it. Reach out to any of us anytime. Visit onpassive.com. It's packed full of information about the company, about all the products that are being released to the founders and are up and coming, because we are going to be going public in a short period of time. And boy, once that happens, those doors are closed and there won't be any more founder positions.
Yeah, so thank you very much for coming. If you've seen anything that you really intrigued you, by all means go to our pages and or send us a message here. We'll be happy to get back to you as soon as we can. But in the meantime, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. And I hope it's as sunny there as it is here. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye for now.